In today's Mr. O Math vid, we're going to do some review for the upcoming Unit 1 test. And first things first, we're just going to review some basic geometry. Can we use the symbols? Can we draw? What it's asking us to do. So starting off, we're going to do the first three. A line that contains both A and B. And the thing we've got to pay attention to here is they're talking about a line and they talk about two specific points. So if we put all of that together, we use the two letters AB, and then we also use the symbol for line. So line AB would be AB with the line symbol over the top. Okay, next we got a point that's not on line AC. So line AC running horizontally in this picture has points A, E, and C on it. So all we've got to do is name any of the points not contained on that, which would be D, B, or F. And then finally, we got to name a pair of lines that intersect at point A. So we already know that there is one line containing A, that is AB. And then we have another line in number 2, AC, and notice that the letter A is in both of those names. That's not always going to be the case for intersection, but in this case it just works out being that way really easily. So yeah, we had AB and AC. Now, on AC, you could have named that AE, AC, or EC, or any variation of those two-letter combinations. So keep that in mind. Alright, so we're going to move down to the next part. Now these, I just left them filled in. I'm just going to talk about this real quick. Points, you all know how to do that. You see points right here, A and B. You just put a dot and then you put the letter next to it. That's how you draw a point. But the tricky one on this one was drawing a plane R. So you need to draw some kind of rectangle, parallelogram, something like that. And then make sure that you either do some kind of in cursive letter for that. I know they did a bold. It's really supposed to be in cursive. So long as A and B are on that parallelogram, it's all good. Line L, and I need to add that in, line L containing points M, N, and Q, which there's a special word for this if it contains those points, that is collinear, which you see down here later in another problem. Collinear just means that a line, that all the points are on the same line. Okay, continuing on, we're going to go down and check out some true-false statements about a figure. So we've got the three-dimensional rectangular prism, and we're trying to determine if things are true or false. So first things first, E, J, and G are in the same plane. So let's check this out. We've got, are on the same line, collinear. E, J, and G, and as we see, those are all on the same line segment, so yes, they would be collinear. So that one is true. Then we have A, F, and H. A, F, and H. And it says they're all in the same plane, but if we notice, A and F are on this rectangle, and H is in a completely different rectangle, not touching the other two. So in that case, that would be false. There is no way that those are on the same plane based on this image. And finally, we've got the planes of A, B, and C, and I'm going to fill those in. I'm going to highlight and color those in really quick. So ABC touches AIJ. So got and notice that right along AIC is where the blue and the red touch. So as a result, that one would have to be true. Okay, and our final example for the first half of the review, we're going to calculate midpoint. Now, midpoint formula is provided right there as you see it. And what we're going to do is we've got to start off, and the first step is always labeling. We've got to label our coordinates. So as a result, we're going to label them. We have x1, y1, x2, y2. And then we simply just need to plug those into the formula, substitute those in. So x1 plus x2, x1 plus x2 would be 4.9 plus negative 5.2 divided by 2, comma, y1 plus y2 all over 2 would be negative 1.3 plus negative 0.6 divided by 2. And doing those in the calculator real quick. So it gives me a negative 0.15 and a negative 0.95. So there you go, and I'm going to fix this really quick. There we go. So that is the review part 1 for our upcoming unit test. Come back in just a little bit and I'll give you part 2 over distance formula and